Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. Listen, I hope everyone is having a fabulous holiday. I spent it on Twitter defending myself for stating basic facts. Facts and receipts, video evidence, and the girls, a certain fan base, they're still upset. They're upset and they're so up in arms about me posting a receipt. Didn't give an opinion on the receipt. Didn't say that Sister Girl was right or wrong. I simply posted the facts, and they are still saying that I have something personal against this woman. It's the weirdest thing. Now, I'm going to post the facts. I want to go ahead and talk about this low-key beef that's brewing between Sanya Richards-Ross and Kandi Burruss-Tucker because it got a little spicy during our interview. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to Sanya and her team, first and foremost. Secondly, thank you to everyone who watched and liked and supported. Thank you for the love and support and the encouraging words. I really do appreciate all of the supporters. But with that being said, there's some confusion, right? After the interview, I saw this narrative going around, especially on Twitter, saying that Sanya is a liar and that she's dumb, that she's less than smart, that Sanya is a dingbat, that Sanya made up an entire narrative in order to come up with a reason to justify the fact that she wanted Phaedra on there and yada yada this and yada yada that. Y'all said, Sanya went onto my platform and said that Kandi had a dream cast that did not include her. Kandi did not consider her feelings or cater to her feelings. She's not going to cater to Kandi's. Y'all pulled up an interview in which Kandi did not give a dream cast, and y'all called Sanya dumb, and y'all called her a liar. Okay? So let me give you the receipts and the facts. This is how it went. We have the Carlos King interview with Sanya.
Who are 5 women that you would love to be on a season with?
I've been on with Kandi and Kenya, so I feel like I've, experienced them. I always thought Phaedra was a hoot, so I think, it'd be cool to film with Phaedra, even though I know Kandi and Phaedra won't film, so that means I have to leave Kandi off for next season. I'm gonna bring her back for season 20.
You can tell that she's even hesitant, how Drew Sidora was hesitant talking about the shooting, the incident. You can tell Sanya was even hesitant because she didn't even feel comfortable giving her true feelings because she's so steady trying to consider everybody else's feelings and so steady trying to, how is this going to come across and how is this person going to feel ways? Meanwhile, other people are giving their dream cast and they're not included. So they're not thinking about you. They're not considering your feelings. And for those of you who are saying, well, why would anyone want to include Sanya in a dream cast? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Her friend did not include her in hers. And so why does she need to consider Kandi and Kenya? All right, so was it petty? Was it malicious? Was it mean-spirited? Was it shady? What Sanya said? Let me know in the comments down below. Come up with your own conclusion. All right. Don't listen to me. Just listen to the videos. Kandi had this to say in response.
You see me off, but you don't see you off. Okay, boo-boo. Yeah, she was trying to bring back people that she's been fans of on the show. You don't even know them people. You might not want to be talking about who shouldn't be here. Because I seen what the fans be saying online.
Basically, saying that the fans want her fired. That the fans want Sanya fired. I felt like that response to what Sanya said was so overblown. Kandi's entitled to her feelings. If she wants to feel a ways, that Sanya said that she would bring back Phaedra and then bring her back on another season and this, that, and the third, whatever, fine. Kandi's very entitled to her feelings. Her feelings are valid. However, I feel like the response was overblown. I don't think it was mean-spirited and I don't think it's that deep. But that's just me. Don't listen to me. Don't adopt my feelings. Y'all aren't going to do that anyways. Listen to the videos. Come up with your own conclusions. So then Sanya went onto my platform and she responded to Kandi. And I said the candy-coated wrath, not the candy-coated rat, the candy-coated wrath. This is Sanya's response to what I believe was the candy-coated wrath. So Kandi Burruss had this to say in response. She said, you see me, I have the whole quote. You see me off, but you don't see you off? Okay, boo-boo. Yeah, she was trying to bring back people that she's been fans of. You don't even know those people. I'm just really cracking up because you're talking as a fan. And if we want to talk about what the fans have to say, then you might not want to be talking about who shouldn't be here.
Kandi gave her dream team weeks before I was asked. And I wasn't on her list. But she, conveniently forgets what she does. Like, she throws a bomb and hides her hand. I'm like, why is it only offensive when someone else does it? Like, you didn't put her on your cast. She literally did a cast, and I was not on her cast.
I didn't know that.
I just don't go on Twitter and go on live and all that stuff to say, oh, well, you left me. I don't do that. So it's like, why is it okay when you do it, but when I do it, it's this, we got to speak on it. Like, you left me off your cast, right? You're saying that you're listening to the fans. They don't want me on the show. Cool. Well, when I'm asked who I want on the show, I'm not going to cater to your feelings if you're not catering to mine.
You left me off your cast, I leave you off your cast. So that kind of leads me to believe that it was kind of petty. It was kind of petty. Yeah, sure. She says in the interview, she says it wasn't necessarily petty, but I do think it was kind of petty. And I think that's okay. I think that's okay. And I think it's fair. I think it's fair. Like any friendship. I feel like I'm always calling you. You never call me. I'm not going to call you anymore. I feel like I'm always defending you. I feel like you never defend me. I'm not defending you anymore. You don't consider me when it comes to a dream cast. I won't consider you. Even though Kandi was considered in her dream cast. You don't put me in there. It's just keeping the same energy. My humble opinion, I find nothing wrong. Petty? Yeah. Wrong? No. Watch the video footages and come up with your own conclusion. I know you guys are going to do mental gymnastics in order to justify one girl and bash the other. Now, in my interview, she referenced and cited the Shade Room. And in Kandi's latest Shade Room interview, she talked about whether she would bring back Nene or Phaedra, and then talked about like getting together like a Housewives girl group or some shit. So a lot of the girls on Twitter and social medias, they were confused as to what the hell Sanya was talking about. So the girls went onto Twitter and said that Sanya's lying, that Kandi never came up with a dream cast. Sanya made that up in order to justify what she said during the Carlos King interview. She made it up to create a narrative in order to beef with Kandi to save her rotten peach. She came up with this whole master plan to make up this beef with Kandi. Let me just lie on Kandi and make it like people can't look the shit up. What Kandi said in an interview is easily lookupable. Easily accessible. So y'all thought that Sanya thought in her brain, let me lie about something that can be easily disproven. Okay, yeah. So y'all went onto Twitter and said that she was not smart, that she was uneducated, that she was boring, that she was dumb, that she's a liar, that she's making up a narrative just to justify and, save her ass for what she said on to Carlos King. Y'all said what she said on my interview was a lie. Okay? Now here's what I believe happened. Using some analytical and critical thinking skills, I believe Sanya misspoke when she cited a Shade Room interview. I do not believe she meant to say a Shade Room interview. I think she was referencing this interview from March 10th of 2023.
What would be your dream cast to make a successful next season of Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Portia, Kenya Moore. I wasn't mad at the Nene choice. And I'm not mad at Kim Zolciak either. Really? But I think our peacemaker could be Cynthia. She's the good, you got to have one person that you can cry on their shoulder.
Kandi Burruss gives her dream cast on March 10th, 2023 during an E! News interview. Mind you, this was after filming with Sanya for 2 seasons and a trip to Disney World. #RHOA. Black women in music, Black women in Hollywood event. The Essence. That was Essence. I think that was March 9th. That clip came out March 10th. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were somewhere in LA. These are all facts. I think she misspoke and said the Shade Room. I don't think she meant Kandi's latest Shade Room interview. But I was looking at tweets earlier today saying she's a liar and that she's dumb. All right, so anyways. So then once I posted the receipt, and now the other Housewives blogs are getting a hold of it and they're posting it too. Thank you to the House of Aaron research team, aka me. I appreciate all of the love and support. It went from Sanya being a liar, she made it up, to, well, it's different. What Kandi did is different from what Sanya did. Kandi never said who she wanted off. She just said who she wanted on. I'm like, okay. Then somebody said, well, you cut up the interview. In the beginning of Kandi's interview, giving her dream cast, she was piggybacking off of Portia's list. So I'm like, okay, Fran, the interviewer from E! News, said that Portia's dream cast list is going viral. She was probably promoting a girls trip or some shit. Fran asked, so what's your dream cast? And then Kandi proceeded to name her dream cast. And the only current lady that was on her dream cast was Kenya. Meaning Sheree, Marlo, Monietta, Courtney, Drew. None of them are a part of that list. What does the tidbit about Portia, how does that context negate what Sanya said to me in our interview? It doesn't. Okay. And then the folks will say, well, why would Kandi include Sanya in a list? Sanya wouldn't be included in anybody's list. We need powerhouses. Sanya's boring. She's this, she's that. She needs to be fired. Okay, that's fine if that's your opinion. And honestly, I'm not upset. I don't feel any sort of way about Kandi. As a fan, speaking as a fan, I don't feel a ways about Kandi not including Drew, Marlo, Sanya in a Dreamcast hypothetical situation. I don't think Kandi did anything wrong. But clearly, Sanya saw that and said, okay, mental note, she doesn't consider me, I don't consider her. So the next time Sanya was asked pretty much the same damn question, Kandi wasn't a part of her dream team. And I think that's okay too. But somehow it's okay for, and this is for a lot of y'all, I feel as though majority of fans feel like, okay, it's okay for Kandi to have a list and not include Sanya, but it's not okay for Sanya to have a list that doesn't include Kandi. Whether it's petty or not, the fact remains the same that both women had lists that left each other off. Those are facts. Those are just the facts. You cannot negate the fact. No matter how you feel about it, no matter how you feel about the nooks and the crannies of the situation, the facts remain the same that Kandi left Sanya off a list. Sanya left Kandi off a list. Kandi went on to her speak on it to clap back. And then Sanya went on to House of Aaron to speak on it to clap back. Okay. The energy is fair. You leave me off, I leave you off. You clap back, let me go on House of Aaron and clap back. Okay? It is what it is. No one has anything against Kandi personally. I don't know Kandi. I treat this show like how y'all treat Euphoria and The Idol and Game of Thrones and Sex and the City and everything else. I treat it like a scripted show. Some days I agree with a character, some days I don't. I'm a very biased blogger commentator. I am. I don't think that's a bad thing. I may not be your cup of tea, and that's okay. Some of y'all think I'm coming after the girl because she did something to me. I don't understand how I can personally feel a ways about someone that I just don't have a personal relationship with. I don't have a relationship with Kandi at all. We spoke via Zoom one time. Some of y'all will say that ever since Kandi's team did this, that, and the third, I don't give a damn about that. What Kandi and her team is doing, what the Kandi Coda Clique is doing, It has nothing to do with what I'm watching on the TV show. I can't have an issue with someone and things can't be personal with someone I've never really met in real life. That just doesn't make any sense. Now, what I do feel like is personal is because my views don't align and they're not favorable toward your fave or the majority, then somehow I've become dumb. I've become stupid. I'm slow. Someone on TikTok called me a maggot, but with an F. Somebody on Twitter just called me a flip-flopping ass bitch. So again, you don't have to agree with my opinion. However, the video footage is there. Come up with your own conclusions. I want to hear your thoughts. Keep it respectful, please. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day.